I have a love for American-made Cannondales. People around me know this, and they enable. It's Cannondale mountain bike time. Welcome back to Downhill Smooth Tarmac. I'm Jeff, and this is your YouTube home for all things cycling, particularly if it's got a retro or quirky edge. Now, if you follow the channel, and you have done for a while, you'll know I love Cannondales, and I love proper American-made Cannondales in particular. I have friends that know this, and they enable. As I said before, they enable. Martin from Life's Been Good to Me So Far is one of those enablers, and he knew when he flashed this Cannondale behind me, in front of me, that I would want it. And he was right, because it's big as well. So, let me explain what I've got in mind. Okay, so this is what we have. It's a Cannondale F400. It's certainly from the later end of the American-made Cannondales. It has got a fatty Ultra 80mm air shock with a lockout. That works pretty well. It's holding air for the most part. It'll hold the air for a day's riding, let's put it that way. It is an awesome frame, and it's got disc mounts. It's in good condition. I've already cut and polished and ceramic coated the life out of it to get it ready for the build that we're going to do today. And for once, no frills, no gimmicks, keeping it straightforward. So I just want to keep this as a 26er mountain bike. I want to have a bit of a 26er mountain bike renaissance. No gravel drop bars here, none of that malarkey, just good old flat bar trail fun. And for that, I'm going to equip it with some of this. Straight up, first of all, we're going to have some Shimano SLX. We're going 1x11 on this build, so that's my plan. I've managed to get a good SLX group together, so it's all pretty much SLX when it comes to the drivetrain, including the rear mech and the shifters. Brakes, I didn't have a lot, but I have got some Avid DBs. These are really powerful, these. I don't know whether you ever remember these, but really powerful, and I got some fresh EBC pads for these as well, and I thought the white would go nicely with the Cannondale. Wheels, Mavic Cross Rides, because why not? It's a good, decent enough wheel, and we've got an 1142 cassette. I've got Schwalbe Billy Bonkers on at the minute because these were already on the wheels when I lifted them down, and I thought that they'll go all right. But if I want to go a little more period correct, I've got some Panaracer 2.1s from back in the day that might look quite nice, but I think we'll just leave the Tamils for now. Right, handlebars. This is the bit where I'm sure somebody literally is itching and they're going to get on the keyboard straight away. This Cannondale has a 25/4 clamp for the handlebars, so no wide, oversized options here. So I managed to find myself an on-one handlebar. Nothing controversial you might think, but it's not wide enough, so I thought I'd try out some little extensions, because I don't see why these are any worse than putting a bar end on. There's plenty of clamp inside. I've put my weight all over them, and I've got some nice Petey's grips to put over the top, which are going to help keep it all together. I don't think it's going to be a problem. I really don't see the issue, but I made the mistake of looking online and reading some people's opinions from people that have never even tried them. Lots of people saying use them, yes, they're great. Even the likes of SGS Cycles do some Somafabs ones which work in exactly the same way. It's going to be a nice on-one low rise, and it's now coming in at 790mm wide, which is nice and wide for me because that's how I like it. Okay, you lovely bunch, that is the plan. We're going to build ourselves a nice lightweight American-made Cannondale with a nice 1x drivetrain ready for some winter mud trail action. It's just going to be fun, hopefully. So what's left to do is crack open a beer, because for me it's a Sunday evening, for you could be any time of day. Get this thing built. Cheers. Alrighty, so first job for me is going to be, I think, get these lovely wide bars in place. It's dawning on me, I haven't built anything with a bit of rise in the bar for such a long time. This is going to be great. Nice. Big Big wide bars, very good. And without any more messing, let's put some wheels in. Get this thing into what appears to be a rolling chassis. Oh yes. Nice. Front one. Oh, something fell down. Let's get the front one in. There we go. Nice. Rolling chassis. Next up for us, let's get a bottom bracket in place, which is obviously going to be a Holotech 2. Just giving this all a good coating of anti-seize. We can get, oh, a nice bottom bracket in place. Fudge fingers. We're giving some AliExpress tooling a bit of a try at the moment. Let's see how this gets on. Bit of tool pre. Tool pre. Looks nice enough. It's better than the ratchet that's attached to it, I'll say that much. This isn't the right ratchet, it's terrible. There we go. Lovely. Clean it up. Right, let's get our crank set in place. Just going to lubricate this just a little bit first. Use some super slick grease. Again, this is another Juice Lose product. This is low friction grease. I'll put a little bit on here as well, just not a lot, but a little bit on the crank set there. Just get it set up, ready to go. Push that on. Beautiful. One thing I haven't checked is whether we need spacers or not. Oh, you sausage. I'll be back when I put some spacers on there because I totally forgot. Oh, by the power of YouTube, it's now got spacers like it should have on the bottom bracket. And the chain line is spot on. So I'm just going to literally, put the pre-tensioner in. We can go ahead. Forget about that ever happening, which is how I'd like it. That's our crank in place. Always do these Holotech arms evenly, don't just bollock one up. Nice, lovely. So while we're back here, let's get our rear derailleur sorted out and in place as well. Had a quick look, hanger looks nice and straight. Don't think we'll be needing to align that. Nice. This is going to look badass cool. Very cool. Let's get the chain in place as well while we're about it. I do love these builds with 1x drivetrains. Just feels like it flies together. There we go. I'm wondering if I've picked up the wrong chain here, because that is going to be too short. Oh no, it's not. It's bang on. So I thought this would be the right size because it's all come off the same bike apart from the 38 teeth at the front. So this group set was actually on the On1 650B build, which I've now replaced with something else. There we go. Lovely. Let's get it working, I guess. Now to get the drivetrain rolling, and for that shouldn't take a huge amount of effort really, because it's 1x. And we know everything works because I've been using it on another bike. So it's just a case of I'm going to reuse everything I can on this, because these outers and inners are off a fairly new build. So I'm going to go reuse what we can. I'm going to try and reuse the old inner as well, because it's a stainless steel one and it's clearly in very good condition, so if it's long enough I'm going to go with it. Just lightly cinch it for now so we can set it up and head to the back of the bike. Meanwhile, out back We need to cut a piece for there. Doesn't need to be too long. Let's see if it's going to be long enough. And it's not, so we need a new one. Oh, yes. Right, with the new cable inner in place, I also discovered that the bottom bracket cable guide had totally disappeared as well. So I've had to quickly put one of them on. And I haven't got a Cannondale one, needless to say. So I've had to make a standard one fit, but anyway. Right, hopefully we'll be back on track now. We'll get some gears working. Not quite lifting. Okay, it is very important when building bikes to own your mistakes, and that's why there's a change of clothes and a bit of time has passed. I stopped filming with the Cannondale because I was having issues getting that 11-speed gearing system working. So I went back to basics, I looked at the things I had, and I solved the problem. And the problem, as it turns out, was totally of my own making. This is my SLX shifter. It's 11-speed. It's also Dynasys 2. This is my SLX rear mech, which is not. This is Dynasys 1, which is 10-speed. So I've had to make some changes. And that is, I fitted a 10-speed Z shifter up front and 1146 out back. There was more problems. I had to use a drop link so that I could use a 46 tooth with this. The drop link wouldn't fit this, obviously, third-party non-Cannondale dropout hanger, so I had to file that down to make it all fit. So it was all a bit of an ordeal, and it all transpired without the camera rolling because I just got into that zone where you end up working and not filming. So there we go. But there's a bigger change. You might have noticed it. Bigger is the appropriate word. I've been prepping these 650p wheels to be the spare set of wheels for the Gary Fisher build. And I just thought, oh, I wonder if they'd fit. Hey, they do. So I thought I'd put them on, keep the 26s on standby, but we've managed to put some 650Bs in. I know I do this a lot, but it doesn't half give you better options when it comes to your tyres and just that little bit extra rolling radius. And it never affects the geometry. Never, well, not in my experience anyway. So we've made some changes, but these look hot. And I'm now running tubeless. So all we've got to do is get some brakes on this bad boy, and we're ready to go. So let's start doing that. Are you a fan of doing this, by the way? The 650B conversion. I get a few comments here and there. I don't know whether that many people, other than me and a few people on YouTube, ever do it. I think it's a great way of saving these old bikes. And you do have to be a bit careful with your tyre choices, but it does work. Looks good as well. Oh yeah, I've also fitted a saddle. Now, I'm not sure about this. I went all Trace Velo and bought some stuff off AliExpress, including what appeared to be a knockoff Brooks Cambium saddle. I'm not entirely sure what's going on here, but it's got a lovely non-slip feel to it. It looks very short, and the rails do this weird thing where they go up at a really steep angle. But, you know, I'm not going to waste it. It cost me 14 quid. So, I think that's going to be terrible, but we'll find out. So, yeah, fake Brooks. No. Rightio, so for brakes, we are going with some Avid DB3s. We might as well set the whole cockpit up while we're up here. Is that the right grip? Yeah. So, we're going for some Avid DB3s, and we're also going for some PT's grips, because I felt like a set of these, good quality grip, will give me the comfort I want, and also sandwich in that extension without too much concern. So, there we go. I reckon this is going to work out. Now, the Avid DBs, I don't know whether you've ever had these. I think these came after the Elixirs, but they're actually very good for an Avid brake. They're very, very powerful. These were originally on my Specialized camber, and they've always looked after me on there, so they'll be more than powerful enough for this lightweight little hardtail. Okay, so before I fit these up, I fitted new EBC pads, and I've also got myself some spacers. Because this is Avid, it's going to need a spacer, I reckon, because that's the way these are designed. So hopefully it's going to need it. I'm not doing this for no reason at all. So I'm going to get this roughly in place first. Give it a spin and a squeeze and see what we get. With Avids, I sometimes use a shim just to set these up, but I'm thinking this is going to be all right. Yeah, I think this is going to be fine. So like I say, these are a nice powerful brake, so hopefully we'll get some good feel straight away. Oh yes, lovely. Just going to hold that brake on, just tighten it off. Marvellous. These really are good, these DB3s. Lovely brake. Right. Now onto the back, where we've got more of a challenge. Okay, so actually, as it turns out, out back and out front, the cables, the hoses, sorry, are too long for this bike. So we're going to have to take a fair chunk out and have a bit of a rebleed. So, measure up roughly what I want out of each of these brakes, snip a chunk off, and do what we got to do. To be honest, smelling the fluid that's coming out of these, I am almost certain that they are well overdue a fluid change anyway. So let's just go ahead and keep these DBs working nicely. Okay, so I've just managed to find a suitable barb and olive. I've actually used a threaded one, which is off a slightly different model, but it should work. So I'm going to go ahead, thread that back in to the caliper. Caliper? That's a brake lever. Now, for some reason, these DBs have a, you have to have an 11mm and an 8mm to buckle these together. So I'm going to go ahead, crush this up and see if it fits how it should do. I think it's going to be just fine. I've only managed to find one barb that's even close, so the front one might have to stay long for this build. It seems to be compressing nicely, so hopefully that threaded barb won't cause us any issues. Next job's going to be to bleed it up. This back brake, a quick bleed up before I put it in place, because it'd be easier. If you haven't bled Avid or SRAM before, it's a dot system. So it's dot fluid, so don't be giving it no minerals. It won't like it. It won't last 5 minutes afterwards either. It's a 2 syringe system. You want one that's about roughly a quarter full for the top, and one down here on the deck that is going to have 3/4 full. Oh, wow. Gosh, this fluid needs changing. That is just dreadful. Right, so let's see what comes out of this. So I'm going to start pushing the old fluid out. Wow, I'm kind of glad we did this now. This is disgusting. The thing about dot fluid you need to be aware of is dot fluid is hydroscopic. So it will take things like water into its system. And what is coming out of this is really not nice. So I'm going to push this through and actually put some fresh fluid in the top syringe before we do anything else. So we'd normally be pushing back now, but we're not going to do that. We're going to take this fluid off. I am now going to start moving fluid from the lever back to the caliper. Oh my, there's some rubbish coming out of this. It's a lot of black nastiness. I don't know if you can see this coming out of this system right now. I think we're going to go ahead and change that fluid as well. So basically, once you've done this back and forth, you then put the lever in, push some fluid from the caliper up till that's out, lock it off and it's done. See you in a sec. Okay, so it's moment of truth time for that back caliper. So I'm going to give it a good squeeze up, see if we've got good lever feel, which we have. Yeah, lovely. So it might have been a bit of a messy bleed. I think we've got a nice, powerful feeling brake there. Give it a good squeeze, get those pistons moving. Compare it to the front one. Yeah, lovely. Right, so we're going to settle that up now. I've got to make some slight adjustments to the amount of spacer required because the mount isn't a... I love these wheels. There we go. Fresh fluid, fresh brake. Nice. Come back to you when I've shortened the front one now. Well, there we go. Front brake cable shortened. We've got two nice feeling brakes, front and rear now. They're both spaced correctly and they're both free rolling, which is what we want. They're looking good. The Cannondale F400 at this point is done. It's ready for a ride out. In all honesty, the one thing it does actually need is a good old service on that front shock, but it'll keep us going in the short term and allow me to get a flavour for the bike. So, quick recap, what did I do? So I took a Cannondale F400 from 2004, added 650B tubeless wheels, which are WTB with El Guapo hubs, 1x10 drivetrain with 1146 at the back and a 38 tooth narrow wide chainring up front. Avid DB3 brakes, complete with brand new EBC pads, 160mm rotors, a fresh bleed and everything sorted appropriately. The bars, those on-one bars, yeah, with those little controversial extensions which, well, now they're under these big chunky Petey's grips, you're never going to see them, and hopefully they won't start moving around, but you'll have a thorough test before we really get into anything too tasty. Plus, this is aimed more at regular trail riding, not going to a trail centre and dropping off stuff, so I'm not worried. Overall, the result is good. Oh yeah, race face turbine, seat post and that saddle from West Biking on AliExpress. Time will tell on that. In the test ride video you'll know whether that's worked out because it'll still be on there or not. So that is all that's left, is to test ride it with that 1x10 drivetrain and those brakes. It feels nice and light and it's cool. It looks great. Cannondales, these are the last of the American stuff, 2003, 2004, and it was still really, really good before it went Far Eastern and sort of lost a little bit of that American cool. So, let me know what you reckon. If you like it, if you don't like it, tell me what you think. Yeah, 650B wheels, not everybody's taste, but I could literally grab 26s and drop them straight in because this is discs, so it's no big deal. But let me know what you reckon. Do you like it? Are you a Cannondale fan? How would you build it? Would you do anything differently? Let me know in the comments. Oh yeah, don't forget to like and subscribe. And with that, I'm going to sign off and say I hope your next ride is downhill smooth tarmac. Keep your wheels spinning, your rubber on the road or your knobblies out on that trail. Be safe out there, look out for each other, be a good human being first and even better cyclist second. As I said, if you get a minute, it'd be amazing if you could like, subscribe and comment. Keeps the channel growing, gets downhill smooth tarmac out there to the masses. But, and it's a massive one, as always, don't let any of that get in the way of you getting out and riding your bike. Until next time, it's been downhill smooth tarmac. Thank you for watching.